Hey everyone, welcome back to Slaughterhouse Horror. First, I want to say thanks to all the people that subscribe. We basically doubled our subscriptions after the video last week. And speaking of video last week, it was on detail, and it made another subject come up, which was in that video. I was basically showing the walls, and I walked through one little area or honk, and there were some rusted doors in there, and that created a lot of comments and questions on, well, how do you make the rusted door? How do you do that? There's a lot of products out there to do it. I'm actually not in the room with the door because I think this room here could actually show better what I would like to demonstrate for you. This is our kind of furnace room, or piping. It's got some piping in it and stuff. And this is all PVC. This right here is a steering wheel off of Kids Playland with a I think that's a 3-inch pipe T PVC. I'm gonna move the light so you can see it a little better. But it really sells as a big gate valve. You know, something you see in a big industrial boiler furnace type area. And basically all this is just PVC ran around various parts of the room. And, this room's really dark like most of our haunt. There again, back like I said in the other video, you can never have, too much detail in my eyes. And so what we do, we come in here and we paint these pipes. They're white PVC pipes. We paint them, you paint them brown, some sort of brown. It doesn't really matter. Black, flat black, whatever you want to paint them. And then I usually come in with I got about 3 different colors that I really, really like to use. I use a lot of like a dark brown, and I use this right here a lot. It's actually a primer, made by Rust-Oleum, but it's got a pretty rustish looking color to it. I use that as my base. I use my brown as my base, but then I highlight with this, and then I'll actually come back in every now and then with some of this texture paint, also made by Rust-Oleum, and just to give it some texture on the pipe. I don't know how much you can pick up on the video, but it gives it a little texture. Like I said, you're basically in the dark, but when people rub up against it or touch it, it just doesn't feel smooth. That's all I'm after. For all my stains, it's basically just this acrylic craft paint. There were some questions on what I used or whatever. This is just a acrylic craft paint. The name is Antique Gold. In this particular brand, there's a lot of different kinds out there. But that's pretty much what I use for all my orange. And then I actually get like an in-between color here. This one is medium brown. And I just brush them on, basically. I mean, I just hit it up and smear it and drag it. Every now and then I'll mix some green in with it. This green's really popping with this fluorescent light. I can see it on my camera. It really doesn't look that green in real life, but it's picking up that way on the camera, so you have to trust me on that. But you just come in and wherever there's a joint in your pipe or whatever, I work with pipe for a living, real pipe. So I see a lot of really bad leaks and stuff like that, and basically it's always going to be at a joint most of the time. So you come in somewhere where there's the fitting, and like this side of the fitting would be clean, because water would run downhill, and you just go in there and paint and just string it down, and the more little areas you do or whatever, I mean, it just sells it more to me. Your eye picks up the contrast. You have people walking through, and I think it gets appreciated. I think it makes stuff look, more realistic. These furnace doors, this one's actually fixed now. It used to be a prop that slid out, but we put the bolts in them, and then I just run a little bit under, each bolt like that. They would be rusted. Same with the window. It was actually some flicker bulbs behind this where you could see a burner in there where a body was getting charred. But the rusty doors and stuff, all our rust, everything's done the same way. Anything we paint rusty or I paint rusty, I do it in this manner. It's just pretty much brown paint with some texture on it, and then dry brush and acrylic on the top. You know, there again, this is another example right here. I did this one a little different. This was a white piece of paneling, or white panel off of I think it was off an old AC unit or something, and we just cut it out of that shape to have something to go up on the wall there to look like a grate. And I hit it with brown spray paint, but I didn't really cut it heavy. I just kind of here and there, and if you look, it's some texture on it too. Just sell it as, hey, it's nasty, it's rusty. I mean, that's how we do it here. I'm not saying this is how you need to do it or you have to do it. There's 100 different ways to get that texture. Spray paint for me is the easiest. You know, there's products out there that you can put to actually make rust on it. I've heard of people using sawdust in their paint, you know, to give it texture. I've heard of people using brake dust in their paint and then spraying it with white vinegar to make real rust. That's all fine and good, you know, if that's what they want to do. Hey, it's free country, but this is how we do it. It seems to be real quick, real easy, pretty cheap. You know, as long as you're just dusting with that can of paint like that for texture, it'll last a long time. I just knocked the drill over in here if you're wondering what that sound was. But, you know, for the base paints, the base browns and stuff like that, we just use cheap paint, you know, nothing expensive. And, you know, stick it in, glue it together, paint it up. That's about it. I think I will do a video on the door. I didn't want to really do a video on just how to rust the door. I think I might actually build another one or go through how we build it. But I figured this room would be good enough to convey what a lot of the questions were about how did we make it look so rusty and nasty. So, hope you guys enjoyed.